Welcome in. I'm Stacey Hall, a Digital Mentors coach and member of the community, and proud to be so. Our topic today is exploring the difference between being a salesperson and being a service provider. And I chose this topic because it's all about mindset, and mindset that then leads to one type of activity versus another type of activity. Many entrepreneurs start out first selling somebody else's products or services. It's not always, of course, but many entrepreneurs start out that way. And so they're hired to be salespeople, meaning their job is to get the sale. Okay, so that's the mindset. Go get the sale. I'm not saying there's anything wrong. I'm talking about two different mindsets here. And the company will give them materials that are meant to be used for marketing purposes, meaning it's really up to the company to do the marketing, and then for the salespeople to follow up on the leads. Okay, that's in traditional corporate marketing and selling. It's set up that the salesperson is hired by the company that receives leads into the company from the marketing that the company pays for. And then the salesperson is the human face of the company that closes the sale with people who say they're interested. That's the way it was traditionally set up. And then came the rise of network marketing and affiliate marketing, where companies said, all right, we'll create the materials, but it's up to you to be both marketer and salesperson. Marketer and salesperson, with very little training about the distinction between the two. Okay, and there's a big distinction between the two. I'm going to come back to the difference between marketing and sales in a moment. Now I want to go over to the other side because of sales versus service. And then we'll come back to marketing and sales. So the mindset of go get the sale is the mindset of a salesperson. And if somebody came out of the experience of representing somebody else's product where their job was to go get the sale, it might be much harder for them to shift into service provider. Okay? So I'm going to give the example of a nurse. A nurse, and when we go see the doctor, we might see the nurse practitioner or a nurse first who takes the vitals, determines what some of the problems might be, listens to us. I don't think too many people would think that a nurse has in her mind, okay, I'm going to figure out what this person needs so the doctor can sell them certain prescriptions. Like, that's not a nurse's job to figure out in the appointment what prescriptions are going to have to be sold or could be sold. I think you would agree with me there. A service provider is more like a nurse. Our job as service providers is to determine the problems. Determine the problems. And once the problems are identified, then to offer a solution. But the primary purpose is not so much to make the sale as to solve the problem. And oh, by the way, there might be a product or service that is the solution to that problem. One goes in ready to sell, the other one sits back to determine what the problem is before they make any offer or sale. It's a small distinction, but it produces very different actions. Again, not saying one's better than the other, just looking at what mindset do you primarily go into your business thinking about? Do you think about how am I going to make the sale? Or do you think about how am I going to be of service? What problems am I going to attempt to identify today to solve? That's the difference in the mindset. So let's go back to marketing versus sales, because marketing plays a part in both sides. Whether we go in, how can I make the sale? Or we go in, let me find out what the problem is and I'll provide the solution. Okay? Marketing's still there. Marketing looks different depending upon which mindset. If I go in with the mindset, gotta make the sale, my job is to make the sale, gotta make the sale, and I'm responsible for the marketing as well as the selling, because the company isn't putting ads out. They might provide me with the materials, but they're not paying for the ads. They're not getting the leads that they're then distributing. It's up to me as the company representative to do the marketing to get the leads to then follow up to do the selling. Again, nothing wrong with that. Just saying one particular approach. Then most likely my marketing, if my idea is got to make the sale, the marketing is going to show the product. It's going to be product marketing, like I would see in television commercials, right? Or radio commercials or whatever. But it would be, here's the product. Now go to the store and ask for it. Or in our case, as entrepreneurs, here's the product I'm selling. Now ask me to buy it. Or here's where you can go to buy it. Okay? That's that kind of marketing that immediately produces or doesn't produce the sale. Marketing that leads to people buying the product. Okay? Let's put this over here for right now. And we're going to come back over here. If my idea, my feeling, my thoughts, my approach is to solve a problem first, then, and my product actually is going to solve the problem, but first I want to identify the problem, just like a nurse would identify a problem, then my marketing is going to be different. It's probably not going to be, here's the product, go buy it. My marketing is going to be educational. More about identifying whether somebody has the problem or not. More explaining the source of the problem, what causes the problem, so that the person that's seeing it can determine, do they have that problem or not? The marketing is not going to show the product. The marketing is going to be informational, inspirational, educational, motivational, without product being shown. It's going to have questions in it to help people self-select. it's most likely going to offer what we call a lead magnet, something for free that's safe for people to ask for more information or to get more information. The lead magnet could be a cheat sheet. It could be an ebook. It could be a free call, complimentary information fact-finding call. It could be access to a group where there's more information. One way or another, it's going to be a free offer of more information, not direct sell. Okay? Because we're still in the process of serving and identifying the problem, it's more relationship marketing than product marketing. Over here, product marketing. Over here, relationship marketing. Pretty clear. And in the building of the relationship, as people sort themselves in or out, because that's what they're doing, the more we help them identify, do you want to continue to receive information like this? The more we offer that, the more that they say yes, which I talk about in my Go for Yes program here at Digital Mentors. It's part of free for members. The more they say yes, the more likely they are to keep purchasing because they know they're in the right spot. They're in alignment with your messaging. They're coming back and saying, yes, I want that. Yes, I want to know more about that. Yes, I'll take that. Yes, I'll buy that. They're coming to us because we built the relationship. Okay? And that's why I say nurses have a better reputation than even doctors, because they're caring, they're nurturing, they ask questions, they're comfortable to be around, and oftentimes they're the one in a doctor's practice that if you call in, you might most likely talk to the nurse rather than the doctor. And then we feel better about spending time with the doctor and maybe getting the prescriptions that the doctor prescribes, or in the natural approach, natural supplements. Two very different processes. And it is all a matter of which one do you resonate with. When you think about your core values, when you think about your talents and your skills and your traits and your gifts, and the reason that you want people to have the product or service that you're selling, when you think about all of that, then it becomes easier to know, are you more of a salesperson approach, or are you more resonating with the relationship service provider approach? And that's really what it boils down to. If you're very comfortable doing the marketing, representing the product, letting people know it's there, and it's all about product promotion for you, and you get the lead and you can immediately make the sale, great. Lots of people do. That's comfortable for them to be both the marketer, the product marketer, and the product seller. But many other people come into entrepreneurship to be a service provider. That's their main goal, is to make things better in some way. But they look at the salesperson's approach, the selling approach over here, and then they try to do that. and it doesn't feel good to them. It doesn't feel good to the people they're talking to. See that product first approach rather than people first approach, that's another way to think about it. Product first, people first. Okay? Salesperson mentality, service provider mentality. Salesperson mentality, product first. Service provider mentality, people first. Okay? Another way to think about it. So somebody who comes into entrepreneurship with a mission and purpose in their heart to make the world better for people in some way, shape, or form, if they're using the more product first approach, it's not going to feel right to them. And that's what I'm all about here today, is which one feels better and right to you. One goes faster, gets more no's. One goes slower, gets more yeses. And we can't interchange them. They're two completely different pathways, cannot be interchanged, cannot be shortcutted. So yes, the salesperson mentality, the product first approach, is much faster because she's getting the product right out there. And here's the thing about that in this day and age. Before we had the internet, really the only few ways that people had to put products out was television advertising, radio advertising, print advertising, setting up displays in stores, knocking door to door. There really weren't too many other ways, vendor events sometimes. So it was much harder for people to look for competitive products, to price compare. Okay. It just, if they saw something, they used to buy it right then. This is the way I grew up. If you saw it, that's, if you're in a store and it's on sale, it's a good price, you buy it. It's not the world we live in anymore. Now, same product sold on numerous sites, different prices, same service, like coaching services are everywhere of all different sorts. So the power is always with the consumer now. So let's say you do the product first and they're interested. The likelihood of them clicking right there and purchasing it, not high. The likelihood of them taking the product, Googling where else they can get the product cheaper, more bonuses, maybe with somebody they didn't know they knew, but they do, and they know them better than you, very high on product first marketing, very high that you might intrigue them enough to go buy it from someplace else. Oh, that's not fun. It's not fun. At least not for me. Did all that work, paid for that advertising, put my time and effort in, only to have somebody show up interested, but then go buy from somebody else. Not fun. Relationship marketing, on the other hand, you don't show the product. You show your heart. You show your wisdom. You show your knowledge. Now, sure, lots of other coaches, but how well are they communicating how well they serve their audience? How much are they asking questions, building relationship before pitching? I've had people all through my career, even my product selling career, because I've always done it more people first, who have said to me, I'm buying from you, but don't tell my sister because she sells it too. Or if my mom knew I was buying from you, but Stacey, and all the time I've known them, they've never told me the things you just told me. So I'm going to buy it from you. See, that's a service provider because what they know is I'll still be there with my knowledge. I'm really in it to help, not just to sell. It's very subtle, but people feel it. They understand. And it's like, and why would they choose one coach over another? How consistent are you being as a coach in serving your audience? How consistent? How often do you pitch your workshops? Selling. Wait, my hands. Anyways, we'll sell it. I'm getting a little confused here. But if you're selling workshops, that's product first. If you're offering suggestions of how to fix a problem, that's people first. And as people respond to the fix that you offer, you can then let them know there's more fixes in your upcoming workshop. And you can do that privately in a private message. A few more steps, yes. More likely to get a yes than just, my workshop is coming up, which I see all the time. Or people will promote summits with all these speakers, and I participate in them too. And they want me to talk about all the topics that are going to be covered. Instead, when I send out my information about a summit I'm in, I'm asking questions. Do you have this problem? Do you have that problem? Would this be helpful for you to know about? If so, here's a fix. And oh, by the way, there's more fixes for you when you join the summit. So this is the distinction. Sales first, service first, product first, or people first, promo or education. It's a choice. You might say to me, well, can I do both at times? I've seen people do both. I will say that it tends to work for them. When people first happens more often, when the percentage of people first communication is much higher than product first communication. And I'm saying communication because that could be in an email, that could be a post, that could be a short video. People first tends to have a higher yes response rate with people staying longer in the relationship. All right. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you feel about this. I'm going to pull out the phone and head over to the Digital Mentors fan page first, and then I'll go to the group as well. And I'm looking forward to knowing, are you people first or product first? What do you think is your go-to approach? Okay, lots of comments this morning. All right. Hello, Dee Dee, Mona, Robert, Miranda. Great to see you, Anthony. Okay, so good morning, Mona. Hey, Miranda. Thank you. Hello, Anthony. Dee Dee, that was very sweet of you to say. You're very good at relationship building. Dee Dee is, I'm people first. That's why it's so hard with selling products. Yeah, well, I'm telling you, it's much harder for folks, most folks, to just sell a product. It just is. We're not designed to take the place of an ad. And it's easy to slap an ad onto our profile page or our business page. That part's easy. But when we think about how many advertisements we get bombarded with all day long through every sort of media available, now more and more people are texting ads all day long. Everywhere we go, it's much easier for folks to tune ads out. So it's easy to put them up. It's also easy for people to tune them out. Whereas pure dialogue, true relationship building, friendship building, people are craving. They're craving somebody to care about them. Our world has gotten pretty tough. Really tough. So I always say nobody needs another product, but everybody needs more heart. A hand to hold, an ear to listen, caring. And that is people first, not product first. And Dee Dee, you're very wonderful at that as well. I know your clients and your friends adore you for that. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, Mona, I'm glad that you love the clarification. Mona, you are people first. I know you are. Miranda's people first. Absolutely. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to head over to the group, the members group, and see if anybody's over there leaving messages, and then I'll come on back. Ask me questions, folks, about anything that you would like to chat about. Anything that you've got a question about. Oh, there, I'm not Mona. I'm not a walking billboard. I'm a relationship builder and partner with people to problem solve. Yes, yes, yes. That, my friends, that's it right there. Okay, so not finding it there, so we'll just come on back to the main page. Okay, I need to work on my approach when offering my workshops. Okay, so Dee Dee, what do you think is not working as well for you regarding promoting your workshops? Maybe I can help. I think I tell them about before I tell them what the problem solves first. Yes. So whatever the workshop is, let's say that you're wanting to offer some social media marketing tips in your workshop. First, we must know who is the audience that we want to see in that workshop. Like, what do they look like? Are they men and women? Are they women? Are they men? Why would they need social media marketing tips like are going to be shared? So think about that. What is the reason they would need these tips? And then you know what the problems are. Because if you say, what's the reason they need them? You go, well, because they're having a problem with this and they're having a problem with that. And they don't know how to do this and they don't know how to do that. So if you're making that list, then what happens is in the marketing part, the relationship building part of marketing is, are you struggling with X? Do you ever have a problem with X? Have you ever wondered why some people have success with X and you don't? Like, that's a way to get started with your communication, either in a short video or a long video or a post, right? or a blog or an email. Getting that question out there. Do you ever have a problem with this? Now people can start to say to themselves no or yes. Well, if they're saying yes in their head, well, wait a second. Yeah, I do have a problem with that. Now, what I like to do is come back with another question in my communication. I like to go with 3. And have you ever had an issue with such and such? And would it be helpful for you to learn such and such? See, 3 questions. Because if they're saying yes to all 3 as they're reading or watching me, when I'm in my service providing mindset, now I'm helping them sort themselves into yes, you are my audience. No, you're not my audience. Okay. So if they keep saying no, they're going to go away. They're not going to finish reading or watching. If they're yes, they're going to go, okay, you're talking my language, Stacey. Now what? And the now what is where I can say, I understand. I had those issues too. I figured out how to fix them. By the way, here's one fix right now for you. Here's a quick fix for you right now. And I've got more fixes for these problems that I'm going to be able to offer to you in my workshop. Let me know if you'd like the details. And that's how a relationship builder, a people first service provider, makes an offer of a workshop. And what I say is the fancy banners for them, don't put the fancy banner about the workshop on your personal page. Put it on an event page where people know you're promoting an event. Put it perhaps in your email, but at the bottom of the email after you've asked the questions and people are self-selecting. Then put your fancy banner forward at the bottom of the email where you say, click here now to register. If you make the fancy banner and you lead with the fancy banner, you're now product first. If you lead with the questions, you're now people first. All right, let's see what else. I think there was a comment that came up and I missed it while I was chatting. Okay, let's see. Okay. All right, Dee Dee says she's been doing it backwards. I like that. Makes sense. Yeah, okay, I'll go look it up first. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Any other concerns that anybody has that I can help you perhaps resolve? I'm ready with some tips. And I'm probably not, because most of you here have said you are a relationship builder, service provider. That is your approach. And I know that's true. So let's see if anyone else. If not, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. All right. It looks like all is well. Everyone's resolved. No more questions. Oh, don't put I never thought about that way. Oh, okay. Yes. No. If we put it on our profile, if we put it in the banner, now I know people don't agree with me on this. This is my approach. My approach. I keep my banner on my social media sites the same, because my banner speaks to my audience, my consistent message. I have a consistent message, brand line, one-liner, what I stand for, and I want that message to follow me across all social media. Again, this is my approach. Others will tell me another approach works for them because that's their values, their skills, their sets of expertise. That's fine. To each his own. This is mine. So when I'm promoting a workshop, I don't change my banner because whoever I'm making friends with, I want them to know what I stand for. So in my profile posts or in my profile videos, the ones that are on my profile, I'm just consistently providing fixes for the problems of my audience based on what I stand for. If I've offered a tip in a post, okay, whether it's written or video, and I say, check it out, and coming up, I'm going to have a workshop where I'm going to offer more of these fixes or more of these tips. Check it out. I'll probably do a little arrow and then I'll put the link in the comments so that they can, when I put the link, of course, the banner is going to be on the sales page. So they'll see the banner in the comments. But I'm not leading with the banner for the workshop because to me, that's product sales versus people first, which is the questions. Play with it. Like I said, neither one is wrong or right. It's different approaches. If one of them didn't work, everybody would do the other one. It just all depends on what you're more suited to, really. And I'm just sharing with you my approach. Okay, I'm looking for, okay, gotcha, that actually makes sense too. Okay, good. I think I've got all the comments here. And I just want to say thank you to all for joining me today. And if you do have questions, feel free to add them right here as a comment. Just tag me so that I get notified and I'll come back and answer them for you. And it's always a pleasure. Oh, wait, one more, okay, before I go. Okay. Thank you, Dee Dee. I appreciate the compliment about my hair. To me, I consider it a warning signal to people. It's like, I'm not who you might think I am. I'm just slightly a little more wild, a little more, I like the word vibrant than you might expect. So again, always wishing you an abundance of sales, satisfaction, and success today, every day, every week, every month, every year, and for all the years to come. Take care, everyone. Bye.